So today I had the opportunity to interview an entrepreneur, and I'd just like to tell you guys all about their story, their business, and some of the lessons I learned from that. So this entrepreneur I interviewed was my Uncle Mike, and way back in 2003, the year I was born, he started a company called Rocky Mountain Phone Books. So how this all started was him and his coworker and friend Rob. They were both accountants in this phone book company, and Uncle Mike witnessed a opportunity, a gap in the market. He's looked across the entire country using all the data he had and found spots that didn't have their own phone book. So using this information and what skills he had, he and Rob started this business. And of course, they don't have all of the skills necessary to start this business. So with the gaps they needed, after all, they're just accountants. They don't know all of the ins and outs. Anyway, they hired to rely on people that possess the skills that they didn't necessarily have. So with their team of about 40 they grew up to, they had about 30 in sales, 10 in the office, with work requiring them to acquire companies to advertise in the books, as well as go through publishing and sending that off to a publisher. So where did their funds come from? My Uncle Mike, he threw a lot of his own skin in the game. He mortgaged and even sold his house, and there's lots of sacrifices made. And also, they had an initial investor, eventually turning into more investors down the road. So then in 2006, he sold the company, which was a great decision of his. He made lots of profit because right then the stock market crashed. A similar company called Dex, they had shares up $70 at that point that he sold it. But following the market crash, those shares went all the way down to $4. So he suspects that, of course, phone books aren't in use anymore. That company is probably dead. Rocky Mountain Phone Books. So yeah, and he had sales in Utah, Colorado, Washington, and Arizona. So there's lots to learn from this, and I'd like to tell you guys about that, but I need a little change of scenery. So mistakes made, lessons learned. One of the biggest mistakes he emphasized was that sometimes he'd spread his business out too thin, areas that didn't necessarily need a phone book. What resources were critical to building his business? His response to this was cash, and employees. He said this jokingly, but cash can't be necessarily underrated. And what was the key to his ultimate success? He said hard work and determination. Sounds cliche, but he put lots of effort into this business. The greatest takeaways I took from this were to look for opportunities. That was the first one. Phone books are obviously outdated now, but we just got to keep up with the flow of business. The second thing is he used his skills. He used what he had and then hired on what he didn't. The third thing I learned from him was the key to success is ultimately hard work and putting effort where you need it. Thank you.